And during lunch, my friend mentions her
looks
son
good.
had an allergic reaction. Went to the emergency room. Luckily, he was fine, but they received a bill for $20,000.
Wow.
And then my other
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be checking out a video titled How I See the US After Living in Europe for 5 years. That's a long time. That's longer than I've been in Europe. So without further ado, we're gonna be checking out this video. A link for the original video will be in the description of this video. And also, if you guys wanna recommend any video for me to react to, a link will be in the comment section, the pinned comment. Just click that link and you can add whatever videos you want to add on YouTube to that playlist, and I'll react to it for you guys. So without further ado, let's check out this video. Hey?
I just had a nightmare
Oh, whoa.
that I had to choose between 40 brands of toilet paper. It wasn't a nightmare. This is the US. I always enjoy coming back to
I can't even hate on that because, you know, that's actually true. Hey, sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming, I guess. Well, is it? I don't know. But yeah, that's definitely something that you can find in the United States. A lot of variety.
US to see family, friends, nature. The nature is unbeatable, especially in a place like California. But living in the US is sort of like living in one big Hollywood movie. It's an experience, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And after 4 years in Europe, I'm back in the US at the moment. So let me show you how I see the US now. It's time to do some grocery shopping. And of course, I hop in my car.
That's just gonna be
and
expensive,
drive 2
California.
blocks to my local supermarket. And why walk when one can drive? Grocery shopping is an experience, an adventure. You see, I'm used to only 1 or 2 choices of brands to choose from in the Netherlands. Here, there are like 50 brands of everything to choose from toilet paper to sausages to coffee.
Yes.
Let's see, hazelnut, maple pecan. I'm gonna go with caramel spice this time. On one hand, the variety is amazing. On the other, it can take me up to 15 minutes to buy toilet paper. And oh, do you know about our national treasure, Costco?
Costco.
At Costco, you'll find anything and everything in
Doritos.
extra large. Everything really
I mean,
is big.
that's not extra large when it comes to Doritos. I just consider that large. I mean, you do have a small package of Doritos that you can get. You got medium, and then you got large. That's not extra large, but yeah, you can definitely get extra large stuff. I'm not disputing what he's saying, but the variety situation, man, like I'm telling you, I really appreciate variety. Like it's not something that I think Europe is lacking. It's something that I think, you know, is rather unappreciated in the United States in terms of variety. Because, for example, when I'm here in Finland, I would want to purchase a basketball shoe and I cannot. Like, I literally just cannot, because all the shoes that are sold here are shoes that typical Finns wear. Like, literally, I cannot have any of the basketball shoes that I want. And if I don't play with basketball shoes, I'm going to injure myself, right? That's why they're called basketball shoes, right? So things like that with the variety, it's very important. But I get when variety can become overwhelming, because you're like, oh my gosh, so many cereals. What do I take? You're just like, I'll take the entire shelf, which, you know, can be a pain in the ass because you're going to just waste money.
In the US. Plus the free samples and the cheap hot dogs. And yes, unlimited drink
Circle K,
refills.
shout out to them.
This is America.
Holy crap, the selection is crazy. And while it's really nice to come back and see all this variety in supermarkets, from Safeway to Costco to Trader Joe's, it can be sometimes overwhelming when you
I
have
get that.
every single possible combination of coffee, toilet paper, and it can take me up to 20 minutes to buy a bag of chips. And the thing about free soda
That's
refills,
crazy.
while I still love the concept, and I loved it as a child, it's actually not so free, because it's going to cost you in the long run in terms of
for
your
the health.
It's time
Like,
to
I'll be honest, like if you guys know about this, I don't know if it's ever in Europe, but there's a thing called Circle K, and you know, they had like hot dogs going for like $1.50, and you get 2 hot dogs, you get like a huge drink. Like, I mean, it's a really large container, and you could refill that container. So this thing that I have right here is about 800 milliliters, right? The container that I'm talking about is way more than that, right? I'd imagine it's a liter, and you can refill the soda after drinking it, right? And the truth is, it's awesome that you can go refill a soda, but is it really that awesome when you really consider down the line? No, it's not. So yeah, it may seem awesome, but health wise,
Meet some friends for lunch, and on the way there, I see them. Oh my. It's always a shock. The homeless.
homeless.
This
Homelessness.
is the part that Hollywood never shows. But life goes on. It's part of everyday life in a big city. But I am looking forward to lunch and the food scene in the US. From Asian to Mexican to everything in between, there is something for everyone. And fast food everywhere. Every block, every mall, every day.
Panda Express,
wonder
shout out to
everyone
them.
is so big. Damn. I already gained 20 pounds. But I know I will lose it all
189! Dude, how are you 189? That is crazy. Well, I mean, I'm the most lean guy you probably can find in this world. I'm just playing. But yeah, I'm pretty lean. Like, I am very lean. Like, the only reason why I even weigh so much is because of my height. It's crazy, bro. 189 is crazy.
when I get back to the Netherlands. And during lunch, my friend mentions her
looks
son
good.
had an allergic reaction. Went to the emergency room. Luckily, he was fine, but they received a bill for $20,000.
Wow.
And then my other friend tells me about the time he fainted, got transported to the ER, and was handed a $10,000 bill. It definitely makes one think twice before deciding to go to the ER. And then we talk
Exactly.
about work, which is the most American thing to talk about. And he tells me casually, it's fine, same old, had to work this past weekend. Still working 60 hours a week. And I think to myself,
If I ever decide to return back to the US, I think it would be quite difficult for me to adapt back to the American way of life, culture, in terms of working, the number of hours, the
Yeah.
stress.
I genuinely think that once you've lived in Europe for a prolonged period of time and you've adapted to their way of life, and you know all the leave and all of that, I think you're definitely not going to want to actually switch back to the American lifestyle. Like, you're not going to want to do it because you've already gotten used to that, and that's a better lifestyle for a human, right, who is appreciative of where they're at, right? But if you're a go-getter and whatever, you might not click with Europe because you're like, I'm trying to work 60 hours a week. They're not going to allow you to do that. So yeah.
The lack of vacation, the fact that people don't take their vacation days. But I do miss parts of American work culture, the drive, the ambition, the energy, being surrounded by people who are very ambitious about their careers. It drove me to become a better person, a more confident person. And to be honest, I do miss that because that is part of my DNA growing up in the US. But it's a trade-off, right? It's a trade-off between, yes, you do make a lot more money in the US, but the trade-off is time.
and then we start talking about vacation. Another friend tells me about his jam-packed 1-week vacation visiting 4 countries. And I was like, how is that possible? 4 countries, 1 week? Then I remember. That's how I used to travel as well.
And that's the thing, right? When you don't have that much time, you learn to pack everything in. I remember when I was traveling to Europe during my first time, I traveled to 10 countries in 2 weeks because, well,
Wow.
when you only have 2 weeks, you learn to pack everything in. I had this Google Sheets, the agenda every day from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Every hour had an agenda, something to do. And that's the thing, right? When you travel so far to Europe, to Asia from the US, and you only have 1-2 weeks, you better make the most out of your time.
You got it.
Now let's get back to paying the bill.
But wait, what the hell is this? Sales tax? Tip? Madness! I need to walk off this madness and the lunch. I walk towards Stanford University, which is nearby. I walk, and then I realize that I'm the only person walking. Oh wow, it's a lot further than I thought. No wonder nobody walks in the US. I arrived at campus to see a bunch of tourists. American universities, especially elite ones, are tourist hotspots.
Really?
The brand
I
name,
never knew.
the letters, the cost of tuition. It's one of the biggest businesses in the US.
Annual tuition at 58,000? That's not even bad. I'm sorry, me saying 58,000, you probably like, why wouldn't you think that's bad? Yeah, it's obviously a lot, but 58,000 is not that bad for a year. It's not bad. It's not bad. I thought Stanford would be like probably 100K or something like that. I don't know. That's not bad. Pretty decent.
And then I overhear some people talking about the most recent mass shooting.
A mass shooting at an American school in suburban Denver.
We are 25 days in, and there have been 40 mass shootings.
It seems like this is the norm nowadays in the US. It's sad and it's horrible.
Yeah, honestly, this part, like, there's no American out there who can defend this topic, right? You just can't defend it. It's just outrageous, and it's just, there has to be something done about this, right? Because innocent lives are being lost. This is not gang violence. Gang violence is bad, but let's be real. Gang violence is gangs. You're bad, I'm bad. We taking out each other, right? So at the end of the day, gang violence really is just like a math equation where you end up with 0 at the end, right? But with this, you're losing the good quality people because of one bad person. So mass shooting, man, in the United States, it's something that just has to be dealt with. It like has to be dealt with. Somebody got to figure out a way how to reduce the numbers, because it's just rising. Look at that. 273, 336, 384. It fell down in 2017. Who was president in 2017? So you're trying to tell me that in 2019, when COVID happened, that's when the surge really took place? That is crazy. 2019, a surge took place in 2020, 2021, 2022. That is insane. I had no idea that the surge was there. Like, I thought it was just a constant rise and, it's steady. But this is a surge. Like, that is 336 to 417, almost 100 increase. Then it went almost 200 increase. And then almost 80. Well, that is 80. And then, wow, this is crazy. That's really bad.
And oh yeah, the police, they beat up someone else again. What's sad is that many people no longer trust the police. And I know plenty of great police officers. But all it takes is a few bad apples to ruin it for the rest of them. Now I wonder what the news outlets are saying, because I've stopped reading the news. It's like this all-out war, CNN versus Fox. You get two different stories. It seems like such a divided country nowadays. The left versus the right, Democrats versus Republicans, the police versus the world.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that always shocks me when I come back now.
Need that
How
United States,
divided
man.
the country has
Not
become.
divided states, man.
I mean, you can literally lose a friend because of politics.
Yeah.
The media has done a role in pitting this group versus this group as well. And it's sad because it doesn't seem so united anymore. It seems quite
divided
every time I
Big
come
facts.
back. And it's sad. And the thing about the police, well, the police, they have such a bad reputation now, when in fact, they should be part of the community, protecting people. And yes, there have been very unfortunate events that have happened. But when I think about the majority of the police officers that I have met in the past, they've been good people, genuinely good people. And nowadays,
I've literally seen great cops and I've seen bad cops. Like, I've seen the activities of great and bad cops, right? It's quite unfortunate, because the good cops don't get showed on TV. It's the bad ones that get showed on TV, and all the news is gonna, the bad fire.
tend to label people based on this profession.
You're
It's
right.
a bias.
Yeah.
When in fact, I think it's wrong to do that. I think we should judge people based on their character, not on a label that we attach them to. But yeah, I hope things get better. I don't think so in the short term, but I hope things get better.
But hey, at least public restrooms are still free in the US. It's time to head to the mall to do some shopping and say hello to American consumerism and
that
overly
Apple?
friendly customer service people. Shopping in the US is sort of like a game, looking for deals, getting credit card points. It can be extremely fun and addicting. But this is all part of the game of American consumerism, so be careful, or else you'll be in credit card debt like a dearth of Americans. Well, it's late and it's time to head home. And of course, there's traffic at 3 p.m.
It's
And
California,
this
baby.
guy ahead of me just cut off the cyclist. It's quite a shock to see bikes, cars, buses, motorcycles all merging together in one lane. It can be quite dangerous to cycle in an American city.
It
I
is.
then go and meet some friends for a drink, and I meet all these techies. And of course, I get asked the popular question.
Hey, so what do you do? I make YouTube videos. Oh, so you work for YouTube and Google, right? No, I just make videos. Oh, okay. So this is something that Americans do really well. We tend to compare ourselves against one another.
Yeah,
It's a very
and no offense to some Americans, but a lot of Americans, this is the reason why you can never achieve your American dream, because you compare to another person and you're trying to achieve that person's, what you'd say it. What did they have achieved? You're trying to achieve that, and that's the reason why your American dream will never be achieved, because that's not your goal, man. That's not for you. That's for him. It's crazy.
society. And we do this at a very young age. Which school, which college did you go to?
Right.
What type of job? Which
Private
company,
school, public
who
school.
got promoted?
Right.
It's part of the
Facts,
system.
big facts.
It's a very competitive society, in my opinion, compared to other societies. And I remember there was one time when I first started off my career, I was working in the Big Four accounting firm. And I went out to a bar with some friends. They were all investment bankers. And I was talking to this one girl who was an investment banker. And of course, we talked about what we did. And when I told her that I worked in a Big Four firm, she kind of looked down upon me and said something very judgmental, like, oh, you only work at a Big Four company. And so I just remember feeling very crappy at that point in time, like I wasn't good enough. But I don't blame her. It's the system that we grow up in. And we tend to judge each other based on what we do.
What a
Yeah.
long, exhausting
Achievements.
day. Just another day in Hollywood. Just another day in the US of A.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I mean, he tapped on all the good points, man. Like, he was very fair and honest regarding the United States, and I really appreciate that. He didn't try to bash the United States. He actually went and, pinpoint the issues that you will find in the United States. And one of the main issues that needs to be solved, in my humble opinion, is that bloody mass shooting. Like, healthcare is so important, but it's nothing compared to mass shooting. Like, it's happening too frequently. Like, no, and no. I don't know what's the count right now for this year. We're at the end of this year, actually. So I don't know what it is, but I would hope that it's not, higher than the previous year. Not saying that it being, a tad lower is anything good, but yeah, that one has to be fixed. But this was very much of a good video, very enlightening, and I appreciate it a lot. And you guys can let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. But for now, I'll be up out of here. So thank you for watching, like and subscribe as usual. Peace.